Hi everybody, and welcome to the Equity video series. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are going to talk about two self-employment options, entrepreneurship and freelance work.
That's right, the employment opportunities many people don't even consider, but can be great ways to earn money.
So Alex, when I think about work, I think about going to a job, like a desk in an office or a server in a restaurant or a cashier at a supermarket. But that's not usually what entrepreneurship or freelance work is it?
No, it's not. This is a whole different story. With entrepreneurship and freelance work, you get to choose the jobs you take, your own schedule, and often set how much you're paid. It can take a bit more organizing and dedication than conventional employment, in a way, but it provides freedom that many regular jobs just can't. That means that you can more easily hit the bank or the post office when they're open in the middle of the day, take some time for yourself if you're feeling overstressed, or really go into overdrive when you want to earn some extra cash one month.
If you do things right, it can even help you get ahead of the pack. So let's explore these great options and what you can do to make them work in your life. Now, entrepreneurship and freelance work are closely connected, but they're not exactly the same thing. With entrepreneurship, you start your own business and build it from the ground up, offering a service to the public in exchange for a fee. This can be anything from a dog walking service all the way to building up a company where you are the boss.
For example, my buddy John started a company that actually helps people test tap water to see if it's safe to drink. It took a good few years to get going, but now it actually has investors and is really growing fast. He's even making a decent salary now that it's going full speed.
That's awesome. And freelance work is a little different, right?
Yeah, definitely. Although sometimes they can overlap. So with freelance work, which some people also call gig or contract work, is when you keep an eye out for individual, one-time, part-time jobs or contracts, then get paid for them one at a time. This could be something like freelance journalism, where you write articles or blogs for a magazine or a website and receive money for each one. You could even help those websites redesign themselves if you know how to do computer coding. For example, I also know a few people who do acting gigs for commercials and little company videos, which can pay pretty darn well for a one-day job.
Wow. I bet that's a neat option for people with disabilities if companies are looking to add diversity in their videos.
Absolutely.
Now that we know the basics of self-employment, let's take a look at the steps to get started with your new jobs.
So let's say that you're considering starting a business or doing some freelance work. Step one is just to ask, is self-employment right for me?
That's right, because let's face it, any kind of work takes, work. It's just that self-employment takes a bit more of your own motivation, as well as handling all of your own business details such as paperwork, advertising, even taxes. There isn't a boss or manager handling operations.
Or nudging you about deadlines.
Spoken from true experience.
So you may also want to consider what this does for your benefits. So if you're one of the many folks who receive SSI, Medicaid, or other benefits, self-employment can provide an opportunity for earnings that might not affect their income limits, which is great. And there are even government programs for people with disabilities that can help you get your business off the ground. For example, a Plan to Achieve Self-Support, or PASS plan, lets you save money to get your business off the ground. It helps you save money toward a business goal without affecting SSI or Medicaid's $2,000 asset limits. And the Department of Rehabilitation, if you're interested in this, can provide guidance and even financial support for starting your own business.
But either way, reporting business income to the Social Security Administration and any other agencies that manage your benefits is super important. If you don't, you can endanger those supports. It's also important to keep your taxes in order, which means recording business income and expenses, then finding the right forms. We aren't exactly tax experts, so you can either do your own research or find a professional that can help you come tax time.
That's right, and for more details about programs to support self-employment and how to report your income and taxes, check out the self-employment chapter of Equity Online.
Okay, so let's say you are confident that you can handle all the details from schedules to taxes to reporting business income and ultimately keeping yourself motivated long term. The next question is, do I have the right ideas and skills to make some money on my own?
See, the basics of a business are coming up with a product or service, selling it to businesses or the public, and taking in enough money to cover your costs and pay for your time, or what they call make a little profit. A good entrepreneur will come up with something to sell that enough people are willing to pay for, then finding enough customers to buy it at the right price. If they manage their own costs and create a quality product, they can usually make money in the end.
You might feel like you already have the ideas and skills to do self-employment without a problem. If you do, or if you're just exploring the option, the first step to really getting the business off the ground is developing a solid business plan. This doesn't have to be set in stone, but it provides a vision of what you want your business to look like and a roadmap to success. It helps guide you along the way, and if you're looking for people to provide finance, such as government agencies, some crowdfunding, or even bigger investors, it can give them a reason to help you out. Let's say you come up with a good business idea, like a dog sitting service for all your neighbors who go to work on the weekdays. You have a big enough backyard, and all the dogs will get to be friends and play around with each other. You plan to charge a fee that's lower than the other dog sitters in your area, so plenty of people will be coming your way. Better yet, you'll be more than able to cover the costs of dog food and make some money for your time. A business plan breaks this down and sets a roadmap so you can really get started.
That's right, and a business plan usually has 7 parts. The first is an executive summary, which provides a snapshot of your company, explaining who you are, what you do, and why.
The second part is a description and vision. This includes your mission statement, the company vision, the business goals and objectives, and the history of the business, if you have one.
The third piece is a definition of the market. Basically, you might be providing something completely new, or there might already be some businesses like it. Show who your competitors are, who your potential customers are, and why people will purchase what you're providing.
The fourth piece is a description of your products and services. It's usually useful to provide enough detail to really show the idea in full, as well as why your products or services are competitive compared to others.
And fifth, show your business's organization and management. This includes everything from structure to legal details, any licenses or permits, a description of yourself and any other managers you might have on board.
Next, show your strategy for sales and marketing. It's always good to read up on marketing strategies, especially in an age when so many people are online. Show who your customers are and how you will reach them over time.
And finally, show your estimated finances. This includes startup costs, projected income, expenses, and overall cash flows. If you think it might take a little time to really build up some revenue, look forward into the future and figure out when you will start making a profit.
When you have your business plan in order, you can start looking for funding and really get things rolling. Always remember to stay organized when you do.
So, business plans are the way to go for many entrepreneurs. Sometimes freelance and gig work can be a bit more relaxed, and you don't necessarily need a business plan in the first place. Here's a fun story. Personally, back when I was in college, I was looking for some extra cash, and I always loved writing, still do, and knew this guy from college from a little while. We had some overlap, and he ended up going on and working for a magazine once he graduated. I asked him if the magazine was looking for any contributors, and he said yes, and talked to the editors and actually even offered me money if I wrote for them. The pieces paid anywhere from $50 for an opinion column to a few $100s for a full article. And when I started tracking my time of, doing some researching and writing, I realized I was making $20 per hour or more, which not bad for a college kid working on his own time.
And all you had to do was reach out and send a writing sample, right?
Yep, that's all it took. And of course, making sure I met the deadlines, mostly.
I'm glad you did.
So that's the story of self-employment. If you'd like to learn more, head over to the Equity webpage at www.wid.org/equity.
Thanks for joining.